Hi guys, Scatrix here. Many of you have asked me to do voiceover, so I figured I could try it for the upcoming 5 videos that will each be featuring one of the runs in the Heroic Thread video I released on my channel recently. So I will still be writing down on the video the key points, because I know some of you watch the video without sound, and some of you prefer reading than hearing someone talk, so the essential information will be there. But I wanted to try voiceover, and because speaking is faster than reading, there will probably be more information if you listen to me. But if you don't, it's fine, you will still have the essential points in the video. With that being said, let's get to the JTR run. So I noticed I haven't actually made a guide with Finn in the team, so I'm going to use this video to make one. And first I would like to start by reminding how the team works, what makes it work. So JTR lead gives bonus critical chance and critical damage to everyone in the team. And then if a resistance like crits, he has 70% chance to expose the enemy. And if someone gets exposed, then the whole team gets 10% 10 meter. And also, if you use a special ability while someone is exposed, they will lose 5% 10 meter. And if you are not debuffed when you use a special ability, you will reduce your cooldowns by 1. So that's the basic of JTR lead, and that's why you need Hazita. Now you have C3PO, on his basic he will apply Confusion, and he will also reduce the cooldowns of everyone else that has at least 3 translation stacks. That's why C3PO is very important here, because he allows you to spam specials more often. Then you have BB-8. Well, BB-8 is pretty much straightforward. You give buffs on everyone on his ultimate ability, and whenever you give secret intel to someone, JTR will gain 10 meter, which allows her to move even more often. For BB-8, I would advise you to have the self-preservation protocol Zeta. You can have the other one, but it's not as important now as it used to be, because with JTR you will call C3PO to assist over BB-8 most of the time. Next you have R2-D2 in the team. He's there to give passive bonuses to everyone, and more importantly, he will stealth everyone but BB-8. This allows you to keep the translation stacks, because if you are not stealth, then Nihilus might steal your buffs when he takes a turn. And for R2-D2, I recommend both Zetas. You definitely need number crunch. Combat analysis can be more optional. And then you have Finn. Finn is here as the main damage dealer of the team. He stacks damage on his basic and his special up to 10 times, and so he quickly becomes a monster in the team. So that's the team. Now you have Nihilus, which is the boss in this phase. Just like any other raid boss, he gains 5% 10 meter whenever he gets damaged, but he also gets plus 30 speed and plus 50% tenacity whenever he gets damaged. And you should know that exposes count as a separate instance of damage. So like if you damage Nihilus and he has an expose, you will actually damage him twice, giving him plus 60 speed and plus 100% tenacity. Yeah, you should know that, otherwise you will get really surprised. It's very important to apply Confusion on Nihilus, because if you don't, then whenever he uses a basic, he will steal your buffs, and as BB-8 gives, amongst others, speed up, he will still speed up and will become faster. So that's why you need to keep him confused all the time. So the three main goals is keeping Nihilus at 3 confusion stacks, so that because if you reach 3 confusion stacks, then he will have less armor, and he will also be unable to steal buffs. Then you need Finn to move as often as possible, because he's the one dealing the most damage. And finally, you need JTR to always be able to use a special ability. You never want her to use a basic. So to do that, you need to apply Confusion right after Nihilus moved, because whenever he takes a new turn, his tenacity and speed reset to the original values. So you really need to manage to have C3PO to move right after Nihilus moved, and if you can't, then try to avoid damaging Nihilus as much as possible until C3PO moved. Even if it means not using BB-8's Limited Destiny right away. It's more important to have Confusion applied. Then you shouldn't use C3PO Mass Assist most of the time, because if you do, you will give a ton of speed to Nihilus, up to 300 speed. If everyone crits exposes, then it's 2 instead of damage multiplied by 5, that's 300 speed for Nihilus. And you don't want that to happen. The only time when you can use C3PO Mass Assist is when you already have hit Nihilus a lot, you know he's about to move, and JTR won't be able to take a turn before Nihilus. Then you can use C3PO Mass Assist because it will give your whole team a lot of turn meter, and especially JTR, who can then take an extra turn, and you can get some extra damage before Nihilus moves. However, don't do that if Nihilus has Force Drain up, because if you are unlucky and you lose, if you are unlucky and Nihilus moves before you, then he will drain you, reduce Annihilate cooldown, and then you will have to retreat and restart your run, which is not worth it. Next up, you have to use Smoke Ring with R2 over his special, his burn ability whenever you can, because each time you use the burn, you give Nihilus extra speed, turn meter, the tenacity, while if you use Smoke Screen, you don't give him anything. So use Smoke Screen whenever you can, and always put it on BB-8. Then with JTR, you need to always call C3PO to assist, because when you do so, it will reduce JTR's cooldown by 1, which coupled with her red allows her to always use special 1, special 2, special 1, special 2, and never hit basic. If she's forced to use a basic, she might get defense down, and then on her next special she might not reduce her cooldowns, and you will really lose a lot of time, and which means a lot of damage. Which is why you have to protect JTR from Nihilus basic with R2. If you smoke screen on BB-8 and JTR is stealthed, then when Nihilus takes a turn, he won't be able to basic her and removes her translation stacks. So yeah, smoke screen timing can be important, so if Nihilus is about to move and you... it takes a bit of practice, but basically you really want JTR to be stealthed when Nihilus is about to move. And now finally, for the mods, you want health circles on everyone. Protection is useless because Nihilus ignores protection, so really focus on health circles. And then for JTR, you want the speed set, crit damage triangle, offense cross with speed secondaries. On BB-8, you want the speed set, speed arrow, a critical chance or damage triangle, depends on what you have, offense cross, and really focus on speed secondaries. BB-8 needs to be super fast. R2D2, you want an offense set on him, because he gives a portion of his offense to everyone, so yeah, you need an offense set on him. With a speed arrow, because he still needs to be fast, critical chance triangle, an offense cross, and I would advise you to get secondaries with both speed and offense. If you have to choose, go for speed over offense. 3PO needs as much potency as he can get, so that he can apply confusion, so you want 3 potency sets on him, as well as a potency cross, and then as for the secondaries, you really want to focus on speed. If you can get both speed and potency, then go for it, but if you can only get one of them, prefer speed over potency. And finally Finn, he's the main damage dealer here, so he can be not super fast, but you still need some speed secondaries on him. You can either use an offense or a critical damage set, both work. You really want a critical damage triangle on him, as well as an offense cross. And that's it for the guide. I hope it helped you guys. I will let you finish watching the run, and I will catch you guys next time for the next video.